welcome to the Powered by Iron Health podcast. I'm Dr. JT. I work at the Ardsley Clinic, and I am sitting across a very special man, our September Patient of the Month, Howie, aka Weiss. If you follow us on social media, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Howie, welcome to the podcast. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, who are you? Who is Weiss?
Well, first of all, I have to tell you that I'm really excited to be here. I've never been the patient or anything of the month before, and I'm close to 79 years old, so for me, this is something really special. But who am I? I'm just an average person who needs physical therapy, because when you get to be my age, there's always something bothering you, and that's why I go to Iron Health, to get the very best of the best.
So could you actually elaborate on that? What brought you in the first place? Why Iron Health? What made us stand out to you?
Well, I've been to numerous physical therapists in my life, and some were better than others. One thing I was looking for was a therapist that would stay with me one-on-one for the entire time. Because some places you go to, it's not like that. You get somebody for 10 minutes, somebody ices your knees, they come back 10 minutes later, they send you off. My daughter Irene recommended Iron Health. She recommended Maria Cuomo, and that's who I had for a while. Maria was great. Maria left for a while because I believe she had a baby.
Yeah, I believe that is true. That is true. We can confirm that. That is not a conspiracy. Yes.
So after that, I figured I'd get stuck with somebody, not so good. But hey, I got JT, and JT's been fabulous. So as long as I have JT, I'm sticking with Iron Health.
I appreciate that, Howie. I will say I need to toot your horn a little bit. For a 79-year-old, this man playing golf, playing pickleball, playing tennis, very active guy. In and out of the clinic. So I will say that you make my job a lot easier, because you don't give me any hard times with having you go through any exercises and anything like that. We're always able to progress, and you're very open, and I feel like we have a good communication, good relationship so far. So
totally agree.
Whenever there's something going on, we can kind of bounce off of each other pretty well. So I thank you for that.
Particularly in fantasy football.
Amen to that. Unfortunately, I feel like that's got to be one of the major topics when we talk about the NFL for us, because as Giants fans, we are just coming out of a shutout loss.
I have to tell you, I'm more of a Jet fan than the Giant fan, but of course I like both teams, being from New York.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, even the Jets, though, it's hard to talk about them today, too, with the Aaron Rodgers news.
It's hard to talk about any New York football team.
Yeah.
It's the way it is.
Yeah.
The way it is.
Yeah. But from a fantasy perspective, though, fantasy football is looking good. Week 1 was a little, I guess, disappointing for a lot of these star guys, but
True.
we got a long season ahead of ourselves. And you ended up being 2-0 this week, right?
Ended up being 2-0. Ended up winning my league and against the spread first week.
There we go.
13 out of 16 picks. Very good.
I'll tell you.
And it was the Jets that got me through.
There you go. See? There you go. One of the very few that probably chose them there. But that's great. So, Patient of the Month, were you surprised? And tell me a little bit about how it makes you feel. You say you're 79 years old, never won anything, so I'm surprised by that.
I shouldn't say never won anything, but I was never like Miss America or something like that. With Patient of the Month, that's like a big deal. But number one, I didn't know there was such a thing as Patient of the Month. All of a sudden, I found out I'm Patient of the Month, and I figured, well, I'm a good patient, so why wouldn't I be? If there is such a thing, why wouldn't I be Patient of the Month? Right?
Dang right.
Yeah.
Dang right. It was unanimous across the board. We threw in your name, and everyone jumped on it.
And I've been with other, not always with you.
Yeah, that's right.
I was with Angelo. I was with Alexa, with David.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, when Jade was here, I wasn't with him, but he made the place really happy. We were always smiling and laughing.
Yeah. I know, definitely. But, with Jade's energy when he was here, that was great. But you as a patient always bringing in the energy. That's a big key for that as well.
Well, anything physical, I try to do it as energetic as possible.
You taught PE for a long time, right? So how long were you doing that for? You wrote a book.
Right.
So talk about that.
Well, I taught elementary physical education for over 30 years. I taught in two different areas. One was Fort Greene, Brooklyn, and that was more of a lower socioeconomic area. And for the last 4 years, I taught in Bayside, Queens, which was a higher end socioeconomic area. So I saw both ends of the spectrum. I enjoyed it a lot. I wrote a book on physical education, but on games, actually original games for phys ed teachers. It's all inclusive because I don't believe in children waiting their turn. And I don't believe in gearing your program toward the best athletes. Because what happens when you do that is the children who really need physical education, they're the ones that are pushed to the side. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, if you play dodgeball, the kids who have the best arms and who can catch the ball practically take over the game. The only way someone who doesn't have a good arm or can't catch stays in the game is by hiding. In other words, they run in the back somewhere where no one can hit them. And then they're in the game till the end, to eventually they have to come out and get hit by the ball. But they haven't got anything out of it. So my games are all inclusive, small group games. If they're competitive, they're in small groups, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3. A lot of cooperative games where the children are working together to accomplish a goal. And a lot of creative games and a lot of integrating the curriculum where I spoke to teachers and asked them what they were teaching. For example, one teacher was talking about endangered species. So I came up with a game called Endangered Species Tag. I'm not going to go into how the game works, but the kids
you got to buy the book for that one, right? That's it.
Right, it's in the book. The kids had a good time playing it, and it was integrating the curriculum. So it's that type of thing. I enjoyed writing the book. It was published by Human Kinetics, they're the biggest publisher in physical education. As you as physical therapists might have heard of Human Kinetics. If not, look them up. And it was just a lot of fun. My career was a lot of fun. I couldn't believe I was getting paid for playing games, but that was my life, playing games and having fun.
How long were you doing that?
I would say 33, 34 years.
Yeah. That's incredible. I think the only thing you got to talk about with the book is the title. We got to promote this thing.
Well, it's sort of out of print right now. I mean, you could still get it, but Human Kinetics is not publishing anymore because it was back, I think it was 2003 or 4 when the book was written. And what's happening now is that a physical educator is not going to a book for a game. They go online and they look on the internet where these games are. They could see the games on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's the way it's done now.
Yeah.
But if you could look it up, it's called Powerful Original Games, Fun, Fitness, and Skills, the Powerful Original Games Approach.
Yeah. That's great. With your background in PE, what do you see similarities-wise, PE to PT, vice versa? How can,
Well, it's more about movement. I don't, working with elementary students, I try to get them to realize that it's necessary to move in order to maintain health.
Yeah.
That's the main, I think that would be the main comparison. How do you maintain your health? Well, physical therapy usually go because something is either majorly wrong or moderately wrong. In the past, I've had a torn rotator cuff. I went to physical therapy for that, and that was enough. I didn't need surgery. So it's more about maintaining health. With physical education, you want to teach children, teenagers, adults, to find something where they can be happy moving. Because if you don't move, you can't maintain your health.
Right. I think something that you brought up with the all inclusion part too, that was something I resonate with from a PT perspective. You also talked about when you chose Iron Health, having that one-on-one kind of interpersonal relationship, number one, but then having eyes on you. When before PT school for me, it was super important for me coming out of school to find a place to work like that. Going through, working as an aide and things like that. I worked at these like patient mills where people just turn and burn. You get a patient comes in, heat pack to start, PT works on them, then the aide sends them through all their exercises, ice them down, see you later. Then the next 20 patients come through,
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think that's something that to kind of agree with you on with the inclusion part, maybe not so much the inclusion, maybe that's the wrong term I'm using, but just from the sense of like making it about the person, right? Making it independent and trying to not just have it be everyone knows dodgeball, let's have them play dodgeball.
Well, for my feeling is that for any teacher, and it doesn't have to be a physical education teacher either, but any teacher, if you don't reach the child where they are at that moment, you're going to leave them by the wayside.
Yeah.
So if you're teaching reading, I don't care if you teach social studies, math, whatever, if you're teaching to a group of children, 30 children, and you're teaching one lesson, only a handful are really going to get it.
Yeah.
And all the others are being left behind. So you need to get children from where they are. The great thing about physical education is that you see the results right away. If you're teaching something, you see it, it's in front of you, you can't miss it. When you're teaching math, reading, social studies, you have to wait to evaluate, well, did I teach a good lesson or didn't I? I don't know, or maybe I have to give a test to find out.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to hand out a lesson where they hand in a paragraph or a report before I know if they learned anything.
Yeah.
But in phys ed, you see it right away.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think that's important. And it's interesting because I feel very lucky I'm not growing up in this day and age where AI and all this stuff is like getting ingrained sort of in the school system, like unintentionally, right? Like you can jump on some website, punch in a few questions, and suddenly get like a 4-page paper out of something.
And you get all the answers, so teachers have to be smart.
Yeah.
If they're going to ask kids just for an answer that they can easily look up on the internet or AI, then they're barking up the wrong tree.
Right.
They shouldn't be doing that. It has to be something creative, because if you read what AI writes, it's not good, right? Maybe it will be in the future, but right now, you could tell it's AI. There are a lot of clues that it's not a human writing. I happen to be working right now on a novel.
Mm-hmm.
The novel is called The Education Czar, and it's about education, but it's also very exciting because it deals with characters who are actually going through a lot. And I've written about 260 pages already. I'm going to probably finish it within the next 3 or 4 months. I'm excited about that. So I'm really into education as a whole.
Yeah.
And it is about a physical education teacher as well.
Yeah. When this book is done, you think you'll write another one?
Let me get done with this one first.
Yeah, hey, I'm always pressing you for the next thing, Howie.
I don't know, let me just see what happens with the book I'm writing now. It's not easy to write a novel. If you ever tried it, you'll see.
Well, forget about writing a novel. I can't imagine writing a rap. And so from the social media standpoint, I mean, you're on our page. How did you come up with the rap for Iron Health? How long have you been rapping? Let's go with that.
Well, I've been rapping for years. I mean, I was a rapper in my early. Nobody believes me, but I used to put my hat on backwards. I called myself Weiss. No, the truth is, I made up raps for my school for their holiday parties. That's the only rapping I really did. But I'm creative in a lot of ways. So rapping is what? It's rhyming. It's rhyming to a beat.
Right.
So if you can rhyme and you get a little beat, you can rap. Just give it a beat.
Yep.
If you tap it, you can rap it.
We're gonna have to pin your rap to the top of our Instagram page, so people, if they're watching,
Well, that was fun to do because I used some of the names that worked here.
Oh my god, that was a blast! Yeah,
and some of the things you have to do, like pocket the Chicos.
Yeah,
like that, so.
No, that was a great video and just great experience for us because a handful of us were in here too, watching you do it. Yeah. He came in with the 2 chains and everything.
There weren't a lot of people here that day. It would have been better if there were more, but
yeah. Well, at least some of the PTs were here though,
yeah.
and Jade was here too. So he got to see you do that too, which was just hilarious. But I think the line that you had on me was if you wanted to talk about the Knicks. There's something there. There's, if you want to talk the Knicks, JT's the one that makes it click or something. There's something there. There was something there. But the lyrics are somewhere. I know we've got them here, but
I'm not sure I have them anymore. But I don't know. Yeah, I told my pickleball friends I made up a rap about physical therapy. Now they want to rap about pickleball. So let's see if I can come up with one for them.
That'd be impressive. I don't know if there's many people that'd be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So now, with everything that's going on, what's your next step? What's like the next goal from a physical health standpoint? You're still doing a little bit of golf.
I play golf once a week. Oh, and by the way, I did win the club championship 3 years. So
that's
not
right.
in a row, but I won that. This year I came in second. Unfortunately, on the 18th hole, the guy sank a 20-foot putt to beat me. I wasn't happy about that, but that's life.
Yeah.
But I'm still playing golf. I play pickleball, as you know. I play tennis. I played this morning. I walk. I use trekking poles, so I get an upper body workout. My goal is to do this painlessly. And right now, because of my torn lateral meniscus, there is some pain in my knee. Mm-hmm. So my goal is to be able to do all these activities without pain.
Yeah.
That's my immediate goal. My long-term goal, to live another couple of years, who knows. Just to live and be happy.
Yeah. I think you really are kind of like a gold standard. I know from my standpoint, working with you, the biggest things that I've appreciated and have been inspired by is I look at you and I think to myself, he's a guy who's a little bit older than I am, and and then I see your age, and then I see 79. I'm like, this guy's playing golf. This guy's doing pickleball. This guy's playing tennis. I'm like, Jesus, like that's what I want to be doing when I'm in my 70s, almost 80 years old, right? Like it's a true testament.
And the interesting thing is that when I was your age, I would occasionally get to play with older people. I even once played tennis with a 92-year-old man, and we all said the same thing.
Wow.
I hope I'm doing that when I'm his age.
Yeah. I mean, it's the truth though, because there are even days where I'm 30 right now. I'll play 2 rounds of golf in a row. My back hurts, my hips hurt, my wrists.
That's the age it starts happening, man.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
That's why you got to admire somebody like Djokovic, who's playing like he's an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
He's 36.
Yeah. Speaking of 18, Coco, she's what, 19?
She's 19.
So she's, and then she's incredible too. We were just talking about that before the podcast started, how she's, a surefire point, and she's over there dipping it back on over to the other side of the net and making these people fight for them. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. It is incredible though. I mean, we talk a lot about with golf too, like these guys, they go out and they're able to consistently put out these amazing rounds.
Top athletes, the real professionals, higher echelon, they have a natural gift, and of course they work very hard to get to that level. Yeah.
I heard a quote from, his name's Alan Hahn. He does a lot for like ESPN Radio and MSG Network and stuff. And someone called into ESPN Radio one time and was making a joke, but was being serious about how he's like, man, I forget who the player was. I think it was like Brian Scalabrine back when he was playing. He's like, man, I can't believe that guy is in the league. Like, if I was playing him one-on-one, I'd kill him one-on-one in basketball. And Alan Hahn was like, you need to stop right there, because the worst player in professional sports will whoop any person that is not in a professional sport. Right. They absolutely will whoop them. And Brian Scalabrine ended up doing a YouTube channel that he would face these guys that would challenge him one-on-one. And they would be lucky to score 1, maybe 2 points against them in like an 11 or 15 point game.
Professionals, they're in their own league. That's why they're professionals.
Yeah. Well, and it's amazing how you have people that are like Coco, who they're super young, super talented, and they're still able to win at such a high level. And then just this past Saturday, win the championship.
Exactly.
Like, it's amazing. It really is amazing.
Exactly.
Any aspirations for winning any other championships? Maybe I know Patient of the Month was top tier,
well,
right? So
I'm hoping that I can win the U.S. Open next year. But it's not likely to happen.
Maybe they'll have the Grandmasters League.
They do have the seniors. They do have the seniors, but the seniors are still my juniors. What can I tell you?
Yeah, I hear you. I got a couple more questions, then we'll close this thing out. Let's do NFL. Who are your Super Bowl participants? Who is the winner?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Yeah, it is, especially after this first week.
Yeah, I know. It looks like, I think San Francisco, very, very good, well-balanced team, excellent defense. Seems like they have a pretty good offense as well. And you know what? I'm still going to go with Kansas City. I mean, they still have Patrick freaking Mahomes.
I know.
And they just signed Chris Jones.
Yeah, 1 year deal.
Yeah, and I think Kadarius Toney will not drop every ball that's thrown to him from that one. He's never been known as a person that dropped footballs before, and now he is.
What a crazy week that was.
And to tell you the truth, on Yahoo, Kadarius Toney's being dropped by everybody.
Yeah. I know.
But I'm not dropping him yet. I'm going to wait another week.
Keep holding on to him. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen with the Kelsey stuff, and you
I know.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, I think those are good predictions. I hate to admit it, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles made it back there again.
I think they're going to have. I think they have some problems with their coaching now. It's not working out the way they thought, but they could.
Yeah,
they definitely could.
So we'll see. My last question, super serious. Okay, pancakes, waffles, French toast. You have to get rid of one for the rest of your life. What are you getting rid of?
That wouldn't be a problem because I hate all three of them.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got another one then. Okay, you ready? Pasta, rice, potatoes. You got to get rid of one. Rest of your life.
See, but that's almost an unfair question.
How so?
Because there are 50,000 ways of making pasta, rice, and potatoes. So, all right. It wouldn't be pasta because I really do like pasta. But I make excellent pasta, I have to tell you. So I guess I'd have to go with rice only because I love good fried potatoes.
Yeah. I think the only wrong answer to choose is pasta. If somebody's getting rid of pasta, there's something wrong with them.
Yeah,
there's something wrong.
Agree.
But anyways, Howie, thank you for joining us. And congrats on being Patient of the Month.
Thank you.
You're the first one to do the podcast as well. I'm honored to be sitting across from you doing this.
I'm honored to be sitting across from you.
Yes. Thank you guys for checking in and watching the show. We'll see you guys next time.